Hello everyone, this is the Batman statue collector and I'm once again coming to you from my Bat Cave, and I'm going to be doing a review today on this lovely piece here. This is the 1/4 scale premium format Catwoman by Sideshow Collectibles. This particular one is the original release. Sideshow did come out with two different releases for her. I've already done a review on the classic Catwoman, and that is the purple Catwoman, which is basically a mirror image of this one. But this was the first one that I purchased from Sideshow, and I'll kind of pan down here and give you the full look of the statue. This particular statue is well done, however, it does have its issues. So I'll just pan back up here, give you the full view of the statue. This, of course, which is very different from the other version, that one is fully sculpted, but this one is mixed media. Most of her is this bodysuit made of fabric. So I'll talk about that as we go, because that's one of the issues that I have with the statue and a lot of the other collectors have had as well. First of all, let's start with the base. This is the lightest base in the comic series, at least the Batman comic series so far. I get the impression that this is supposed to be like the top, maybe the top floor of a museum, possibly, where Catwoman is stealing diamonds or jewels or things like that. The base is well done overall. It's, like I said, it's very bright. It is tan in color. Not a ton of shading effects on this, especially the lion heads. They're just, all one color, no shading on it. You see the bricks in the background, which is nice. And then as you go up top, you see just some of the stone brickwork. Again, I just get the impression that it's like a museum setting. I have over here the other base, just so you guys can see the difference. I really like the coloring better on the classic Catwoman. I think that the bases match up a lot better to the rest of the series. But again, this is just a much lighter color. I don't feel like it necessarily fits in with the rest of the collection. As we go up on her, you'll see her boots are sculpted. Real nice, shiny black. I love the paint on that. It's not dull, but there's really nothing else to it. It's just straight black. Also on the base, you'll notice this cat. This cat does come off. He is keyed. And so, let me get that in focus for you here. There is a hole on the bottom of the base, which the classic Catwoman does not have a cat or a hole in the base at all. So, I kind of wondered if I could just swap out the bases, but there is no hole for the cat. I wish there had been a cat with the classic version. Let's go ahead and go up the legs into the body itself. The body itself is a fabric cat suit, no pun intended, but it is really shiny. It does hug the body in a lot of good ways, and there's of course a couple that are not so good. Let's look here. This hand and the whip is sculpted, and it does come off with a magnet. The magnet isn't super strong, but it does the job. This figure is not very heavy, so you don't have to worry too much about weight or anything like that with her. But this whip is very well done. It's extremely heavy plastic material that does have a wire inside, so you were able to kind of mold this. It is kind of hard to get it into a round shape. It kind of wants to be a little bit wonky, but you can kind of move it however you would like to, which I like. And then of course it has this nice detail here at the end, which I think is nice. Just a nice touch. I've seen some people wrap the whip real tight around her. I've seen some that have it, completely all over the place. But it does add some nice movement to the statue, which I think is needed in this particular piece. As we go over here, I'd like to talk a little bit about this hand. This is the regular hand here, where she just kind of, has her hand maybe to balance her out. I do also, let me show you the switch out here. This is the exclusive hand right here. And she comes with a bag of jewels. The jewels or the stones are purple, not a ton of detail, but I do like it. And it gives it kind of a different look here. And this is one EX that I think is really decent. There are some times where the exclusives are a little hit and miss, but I do feel like this adds to the piece. I also like that you can actually take this off, and you could put something else in her hand if you wanted to. If you wanted to put your own custom look, you could. But it just fits right on top. Again, this is a magnet that holds it all into place. Let's talk a little bit about some of the things that bother me about this piece. First of all, this is obviously meant to be displayed at this angle. I don't feel like she looks all that great from, let's say, that one. I just don't feel like it was ever meant to really look that way. Now, some people display it like that. They display it from the side, and I just don't really feel like that is all that flattering. Of course, a lot of people want to see the zippered side. That zipper is stuck into place. I have seen a few people that have explored a little bit and tried to pull that down, but it is really meant to stay put. Of course, the thing is, she just is not meant to really be displayed from the front anyway, to show off those assets anyway. It is clearly meant to display these assets, and this is one of the problems that a lot of people have had with this statue. The clothing, the cloth is like I said, it's very well done. I know some people have had some speckling, some white things happen on theirs. Mine has not. It is stayed in perfect condition. But a lot of people have had trouble in the bottom area, and I have a little bit of that with mine. They say it's kind of like a diaper effect, where it's just not tight through here. And if this is obviously what Sideshow is going for, to highlight that area of the sculpt, it just never got tight enough. Now, what I find is if you twirl this a little bit, if you spin it one way or the other, I feel like it does tighten a little bit, but I don't know if you guys can see it on camera, but there is some give right here, and so it's not as tight as it could be, and I feel like that's why a lot of people, because the sculpt is really great, and I think that's why a lot of people really like the other version, just because it really shows off the amazing sculpt. This one just doesn't. It's hinted, but it definitely doesn't show all the nice curves that they sculpted for her. Let's also look right here at her. This is one of two sculpts. Let me get her in focus here for you. There we go. I like it, but I don't love it. I feel like this is one of those statues, and let's start with the eyes. This is one of the last pieces that I can remember where Sideshow was still hand painting the eyes, and they just could not get it right. There were so many derpy eyes, there was just so many returns, and they finally got smart and started doing decals. Now, from the front, doesn't look good. From the side, which is the way she's supposed to be posed, I think you could still pull it off. The shadowing from the hair looks good. She still looks good overall, but the eyes were a real hit and miss on this piece. I also feel like it makes her look a lot older. I just feel like the facial sculpt is an older look, and so I choose not to display it with this particular head. I choose the other head, which is the goggled down head. It doesn't, of course, show as much detail. It's maybe not quite as exciting to look at. And also, her head sculpt is more of a down pose, whereas the other one here, I'll let you compare, the other one was more kind of like up and over her shoulder. So this one's a little bit more like she's looking down. So that is something to consider when you are displaying her. She looks better if she's displayed up higher. It's like that, so you actually get more of that look. But if you're down like here, it doesn't look maybe as good. So if you have her up high, I would recommend that if you're going for this look. Overall, I would give this statue probably a 7.5 out of 10. I love the modern look of Catwoman, but I just feel like there are a few missed opportunities with her. Does she look great? It's subjective. I just feel like she's probably the most boring one of any statue that I have in my collection. I think it's just maybe too much black. Maybe if she had been fully sculpted, I would have liked it better. There's just something in my mind that is just missing with her. I feel like maybe it's the lack of color. If she would have just had just something, or maybe if she had been able to be displayed from the front better. Again, I just don't really know. I'm going to go ahead and spin her around again so you can kind of see this is what the front view looks like. Again, I just don't feel like, with the way her hips are jutting out, it's just not meant to be displayed this way. She just doesn't look good, in my opinion. If you like it, more power to you. I just don't feel like that was the sculptor's intention at all. So let me spin her back around kind of at the angle I feel like she should be. What I'd like to do right now as a special treat is I'm going to go ahead and slide over the companion piece here to let you guys look and see kind of what you think, which one of these you like better. Currently I have both, and I am still having a really hard time deciding which one I'm going to be selling. I'm selling simply because I don't feel like I need two Catwoman in my display. I'm going to kind of pan over here and show you this is where I normally have my Catwoman here right to the side. I just don't, you just can't have two of them in the case together. So I'm selling one, but again, I just really am having a hard time deciding which one. Again, these are mirror images of themselves. Of course, one is very sculpted, and sorry, I'm having trouble getting that to stay focused for you guys. Hopefully that helped a little bit. But this is something that, is a mirror image. The purple clearly shows off a better sculpt as far as I'm concerned. Some people don't like the face on her as much. And some people, they don't really recognize that look because maybe they didn't grow up with that particular look in the 90s. Everybody has their own opinions. I have posted this very question on Facebook, and I get 50% for the original and 50% to keep the purple. No matter what I do, that's the results I get. It's almost split down the middle. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Which one of these are your favorite? Do you like the purple one? Do you like the black one better? And why? Which one should I keep? Give me your opinion in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. Because I'm really having trouble. I think I really like the purple one better, but in the long run, will people understand that that's Catwoman? Will they I feel like this black version is definitely more recognizable as Catwoman than she is. But I love the color of the purple one. I think I don't mind the face sculpt at all. I feel like, again, the body sculpt is, just look at that. That is amazing. Really, really well done. I love the boots. And I like the base better on this one as well. Personally, I'm leaning a little bit more toward keeping the purple. But again, I don't want to regret selling the black one either. It is an exclusive, so I know it will be in demand. And I feel like, I just wish I could keep both, but I can't display both of them together. Not with my current plans in my collection. So these are these two beautiful ladies. Again, tell me which one I should keep and why. I'd love to hear your comments below. I hope you have enjoyed the review of this original release, Catwoman, by Sideshow Collectibles. Thank you again for watching this video. Please subscribe. I'd love to have more subscribers. I just reached a big milestone with my subscriptions, so I just am so proud of that, and I can't thank you all enough for watching these videos. So I hope you have enjoyed looking at this amazing statue. Again, not my favorite in my collection, but it's still definitely a piece to own and be proud of owning it, because it is very well done. It just, to me, it lacks a certain oomph that this one has. So that has been my opinion on this. I'd love to hear your comments below. This has been the Batman Statue Collector, and I hope that I have put a smile on your face.